Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my tutorial. My name is Zach Pasquarello. I am a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor. I'm a bookkeeper. I own a trucking company. I own a bookkeeping business. And today I wanted to share a little bit of information about cost per mile, or CPM. So I am relatively new to the trucking industry. I did a lot of research on my own, like I'm sure a lot of you have. And I have a lot of experience with accounting and bookkeeping. So I was able to leverage some of that experience, and it helped me start my business and run my business efficiently. I'm still learning a lot, obviously, as I'm sure you guys are too. But one thing that I see a lot of people asking about is cost per mile, or CPM. And I'm going to show you how I do it. It's not the best way. It's not a perfect method, but it is just one way. And if you guys can learn a little bit, if it can help you, cool. If not, then cool too. So I just wanted to make this quick video. I'll try to keep it short and simple, and hopefully you guys can take something away from it. So I will jump right into it. I primarily use Excel for a lot of my calculations. Um, And then one last thing, if you guys are starting your own business and you need any type of bookkeeping or taxes or accounting help, feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm a bookkeeper and I own my own trucking company, so I understand what you guys need from a trucking and taxes perspectives. Okay, so I'll jump right into it. Here is my Excel worksheet. So this is the information that I use whenever I'm trying to decide if I can take a load or not take a load. So I own the trucking business. I don't drive the truck. I have driven it in the past, but I primarily focus on my bookkeeping business, and I rely on my driver to actually operate the truck. Okay, so I have a box truck, like I'm sure many of you have, and I will kind of walk you through how I made this. And if you guys want this, I mean, it's not anything crazy, but if you guys want this Excel sheet, I'd be happy to share it with you. So you can find my email address on harrisburgbookkeeping.com, harrisburgbookkeeping.com, and just send me an email and I'd be happy to share this with you. Okay, so I will walk you through each cell in Excel. So if you guys aren't familiar with Excel at all, this might be kind of difficult for you. But if you have, a basic understanding of Excel, this will be super easy for you. So you guys can create this document on your own if you want, or like I said, you can just ask for a copy of this specific document, and I'll be happy to share it with you. So a few things go into it. So you'll see three different kind of groups here, and they're based on the amount of miles I'm driving per day. So if I drive 500 miles per day, my cost per mile is going to be a lot different than if I'm only driving 300 miles per day. And I'll get into that in more detail. So very first thing here I have is miles per gallon. And this obviously fluctuates whether I'm loaded or unloaded, driving in the Rocky Mountains or driving on the coast of Georgia. It all depends on the terrain and what's in my box and the weather, but generally I just use 12 as an average, 12 miles per gallon. It's a little bit higher if I'm unloaded, it's a little bit lower if I'm loaded, but I just use 12. You're not going to make or break this business if you go up or down by 1 or 2 miles per gallon. And the price of diesel I have here at $3.60. That's the average right now for Pennsylvania, which is where I'm located. If you're down in Mississippi or Texas or Louisiana, it's a lot lower. If you're on the West Coast in California, your cost per gallon is going to be a lot higher, but you need to know your miles per gallon. You need to know, just use an average. You can use the national average, the Northeast average. You can use whatever average you want, but don't get too hung up on the price of diesel. Just whatever generally is your average. Okay, so the orange numbers here is the only numbers that I change. So if it's highlighted orange, that means it changes based on where I'm going, how far I'm going, but everything else pretty much stays the same. So 12 miles per gallon, 3.6, $3.60 per gallon. So here's the first calculation. It's my gas price. So I basically take my miles divided by my miles per gallon, and then I multiply that by the price per gallon. So if I'm driving 300 miles, I'm going to pay $90 for diesel. So that's pretty straightforward. You don't need to use these Excel functions. Like you don't need to, like you can see the function right up here, B3 divided by B1 times B2. You don't need to use that if you're not too comfortable with Excel. It just makes it easier. That way I can change this number and that number only, and then everything else kind of changes along with it. So right off the bat, I know if I'm driving 300 miles today, I'm going to spend about $90 on diesel. Second, I have my vehicle cost. So I purchased my box truck, but I have a loan for it. So I just took the total amount of my monthly payment for my loan, which is $450, and I divided it by 22, which is, I mean, I only operate Monday through Friday. So there are 20, I got the number 22 by taking 52 weeks times 5 days a week divided by 12 months. So I'm driving 22 days per month. So I'm spending $450 on my loan payment, and then I'm driving 22 days per month on average. So 450 divided by 22 gets me $20 per day for the cost of my vehicle. And now, like I said, I don't drive the truck, but here's my driver pay. I pay my driver 55 cents a mile. So I have this cell just equaling B3 times 0.55, and B3 right here is the miles. So however many miles I'm driving that day, multiply that by 55 cents, and I get $165 per day if I'm driving 300 miles that day. So that's how much my driver's making. Daily maintenance cost. I don't really know for sure if this is accurate or not, but it's kind of a rough guess. I'm hoping it's too high. I hope it's not too low, but I put 50 in there, assuming maybe I'll spend $1,000 a month on maintenance, whether that be oil change, new tires, new brakes, whatever. I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. So I've got $50 there. I think that might be a little high. Hopefully I can bring that down as I learn more about this industry and learn more about my truck. But for now, I'm just planning on spending $50 per day on maintenance. It doesn't really matter what the number is. You just want to make sure you're calculating and accounting for it. My insurance, I spend $893 a month on insurance. So once again, I took that total monthly premium and divided it by 22. Got $40 a day for insurance. And then this was really helpful for me, this cost of not driving. So every single day, Monday through Friday, I'm spending $111 just on maintenance, my truck, and my insurance. So even if I'm not buying gas, even if I'm not paying my driver, I'm still spending $111 a day just on the truck. So there's a little bit of motivation for you to get up and get running, find loads, because whether you're driving or not, you're still spending money. And let's see, this tolls here, this is something new that I just put in. I have it at 0.05. So basically 5% of my total miles. You can see up here B3 times 0.05. So whatever my total miles are, multiply that by 5%, and I'll get $15 per day. No idea if that's too high. No, obviously if I'm driving in New York and New Jersey, it's going to be a lot higher. If I'm driving in the middle of West Virginia, it's probably going to be a lot lower. So it all depends on where you're driving. It's only $15 a day, so I'm not too worried about the tolls. I don't have a sleeper cab, so I pay my driver $75 every night that he's over the road to cover potential hotel wherever he wants to sleep. And then brokerage fees. So I pay my dispatcher 10%. So I have just B11 times 0.1, and B11 is the total rate. So, if I'm getting paid $582, like in this example, to run this load, then I'll end up paying $58.20 for my dispatcher. Factoring fees, 3% of the total rate. I think that's pretty standard for a new business. Hopefully once I get more trucks I can bring that factoring fee down a little bit, but for now it's 3%. And so up here, total cost. So as you can see here, I've got B4 plus B5, blah, 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 plus B16. I've got all these things added together. So gas price, daily vehicle cost, how much I'm paying my driver, my daily maintenance cost, total insurance, tolls, hotel, dispatcher fees, and factoring fees. I've got all that added together for a total cost of $531. That's how much it cost me as the owner to operate and to run this load of 300 miles, given all these different variables. And finally, you want to just add in your total rate. So how much are they offering to pay for this? So for example, in this example, let's just keep it simple. Let's just say $600. That's probably pretty standard, I guess. 300 miles, $600. So here, this rate per mile, it just takes B11 divided by B3, which is just total rate divided by miles. So if I can get $2 per mile, then I will essentially make $65. So that's my profit as the business owner. And if you're owner operator, if you're not just an owner, if you're actually driving, then you'll make $165 plus 65, which is $230 a day. And with all that being said, down here at the very bottom, I have CPM, cost per mile, which is B9 divided by B3. So that is your total cost divided by the total miles that you're driving. So in order for my company, my business to break even, I need to get paid $1.78 per mile. That's how much it costs to own the truck, pay for insurance, pay for maintenance, tolls, hotel, factoring fee, dispatcher fees, gas, fuel, diesel, and to pay my driver 55 cents per mile. So there's that $1.78 cost per mile. Pretty straightforward. I'm probably missing things. Please let me know if you think I'm missing things. Please let me know if you think I have too many things. I don't think I have too many things. The only thing that might be too high or too much is my daily maintenance cost. Other than that, from what I've seen from the past 2 months of driving and owning this trucking company, this seems to be somewhat accurate. So that's my cost per mile for 300 miles. And then it changes if I'm able to drive more miles per day, because my daily vehicle cost and my maintenance cost and my insurance cost do not change. They stay the same. And the hotel stays the same. But if I can drive more miles, then I could potentially make more money or require a lower cost per mile. So I told my dispatcher this: if he's bidding or trying to get a load for 400 miles, then I'm willing to go as low as maybe $1.72 instead of $1.94 if it's only 300 miles. And so I just want to make $50 a day. As the owner, that's all I'm asking for right now. Just make $50 a day. Just keep my truck running, keep my driver happy, keep everybody happy, pay my dispatcher, pay my driver, and then I'll keep $50 left over at the end of the day. So that's my goal right now. I figured if I can make $250 a week by owning this trucking company, $1,000 a month, then hopefully in 5 or 6 months I'll be able to buy another truck, kind of rinse and repeat. That's the whole idea. And I'm really trying to leverage this information and these numbers to try to make smart, calculated decisions. So if you want to have this Excel spreadsheet, definitely reach out. I'm happy to share it. And if you guys want any help with your trucking business or your bookkeeping or your taxes, please feel free to reach out to me. That's what I do during the day most of the time, is bookkeeping and accounting and taxes. check out my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com. Find me on Facebook, Harrisburg Bookkeeping. Pretty active and always making QuickBooks tutorials and trucking tutorials. So appreciate you all watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you all in the next video.